Let us begin by taking a deep, grounding breath, allowing the air to fill your lungs, and then slowly releasing it, letting go of the tension of the day. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a vast, green frontier, the boundary line where the paved roads of civilization end and the ancient, tangled roots of the wild begin. We are here to explore a mystery, not to solve it with frantic energy, but to understand it through the quiet observation of nature itself. We are here to contemplate the vastness of the national parks and the profound, baffling silence that sometimes swallows those who venture too far. As you settle into comfort, let your mind drift to the image of a great forest, perhaps the dense pines of the Pacific Northwest or the mist-shrouded peaks of the Smoky Mountains. The canopy above is a tapestry of emerald and jade, filtering the sunlight into soft, dappled pools upon the forest floor. It is beautiful here. It is serene. But it is also a place of immense scale, a place where the rules of the human world seem to dissolve into the verdant shadows. When we speak of disappearances in these wild places, we often look for complex explanations. But the truth, the quiet, enduring truth, is often found in the sheer magnitude of the landscape. Imagine walking into a cathedral of trees so tall that they scrape the sky. The pillars of bark are thick and rough, standing as silent sentinels that have watched the seasons turn for centuries. In this space, a single human figure is merely a speck, a fleeting moment in a timeline that stretches back to the melting of the glaciers. To understand how one vanishes, we must first understand the art of the landscape. Nature is a master of camouflage. Consider the colours that surround you in this mental journey. The browns of the decaying leaves, the greys of the granite boulders, the endless variations of green in the ferns and mosses. It is a visual puzzle. A person wearing earth tones, stopping to rest against a tree, becomes part of the tree. They blend into the mosaic. It takes only a moment, a shift in the light, a drifting bank of fog, and the distinction between the person and the forest is lost. Let us walk deeper along this imaginary trail. The path is soft beneath your boots, dampened by the morning dew. The air is cool and smells of pine resin and rich, dark earth. It is a scent that triggers something primal within us, a memory of a time when we were not visitors in the wild, but residents. As we venture further, the sounds of the modern world fade away completely. There is no hum of traffic, no distant sirens. There is only the wind whispering through the needles, the creaking of a branch rubbing against another, the solitary call of a raven echoing off a canyon wall. This silence is heavy. It occupies space. It wraps around you like a blanket. In the baffling cases of those who go missing, this silence plays a crucial role. We rely so much on sound to orient ourselves. But here, sound behaves differently. The dense vegetation absorbs noise. A shout can be swallowed by a thicket of rhododendron just a few yards away. The wind can carry a voice in the wrong direction or snatch it away entirely. The acoustic landscape of a national park is a labyrinth of its own, a place where proximity does not guarantee connection. Picture the topography of these wild places. It is rarely flat. It is a chaotic, beautiful tumble of geography. Ravines cut through the earth like scars, hidden beneath layers of undergrowth. Rocky outcroppings jut suddenly from the slopes. To step off the trail, even for a moment, is to enter a world of uneven footing and hidden corridors. There is a phenomenon known to those who study these mysteries, a gentle disorientation that can happen to anyone. It is not a panic, at least not at first. It is a subtle drifting. You see a ridge that looks familiar, a stream that seems to flow the right way. You follow it, confident in your direction. But the geometry of the woods is deceptive. The trees look alike. The rocks mirror one another. The landscape repeats itself in a fractal pattern that can confuse even the sharpest mind. And so the wanderer moves deeper, not out of foolishness, but out of a simple human miscalculation. A belief that the path is just over the next rise. The truth of these disappearances is often not one of malice, but of merging. The hiker becomes the wanderer, and the wanderer becomes the landscape. Let your mind rest on the image of the twilight hour in the park. The sun begins to dip below the horizon, painting the sky in bruised purples and deep indigos. The shadows lengthen, stretching out like long, dark fingers across the forest floor. This is the liminal time, the space between the clarity of day and the mystery of night. In this half-light, the world transforms. What was a clear path a moment ago becomes a vague suggestion of a route. A boulder takes on the shape of a sleeping bear. A stump looks like a crouching figure. The eyes play tricks. The mind fills in the gaps. It is in this transition that the baffling nature of the wild is most potent. It is here that the separation between the observer and the observed begins to blur. Think of the vastness of the terrain, millions of acres of wilderness, deep canyons where the sun only reaches the bottom for an hour a day, high alpine meadows where the air is thin and cold, dense, swampy lowlands where the water reflects the twisting branches of cypress trees. It is a kingdom that does not belong to us. We are guests, passing through a realm that operates on geological time, indifferent to our schedules and our maps. The truth is, the wilderness is a keeper of secrets. It holds them close, buried under layers of fallen leaves, hidden in the crevices of the rock. When someone disappears, they are not necessarily lost in the way we think of losing keys or a wallet. They have stepped into a different room of the house, a room we cannot easily see into. They have crossed a threshold of visibility. Imagine the peace of that solitude if you can remove the fear. To be completely alone in the wild is a rare and profound experience. To be surrounded by life, by the breathing forest, by the flowing water, yet to be the only human consciousness for miles. It is a state of being that mystics and hermits have sought for thousands of years. In the baffling disappearances, there is a shadow of this ancient seeking. The desire to see what is around the next bend, to climb the next peak, to find the place where the map is blank. Let us consider the weather, the ever-changing mood of the sky. In the mountains, a clear blue day can turn to a white-out blizzard in the span of an hour. A warm afternoon can dissolve into a freezing rainstorm. The elements are the architects of these mysteries. They can erase tracks, muffle sounds, and disorient the senses. The fog that rolls in off the ocean or up from the valley floor is like a curtain being drawn. It softens the edges of the world, making the near seem far, and the far seem invisible. When we hear stories of people vanishing without a trace, we often feel a chill. But let us reframe that feeling tonight. Let us see it as a testament to the power of the natural world. In an age where we can track everything, where we are constantly connected, where satellites watch us from above, there are still places on this earth that defy our surveillance. There are still pockets of deep shadow where the unknown resides. There is a certain beauty in that humility, to know that we cannot conquer every square inch of the planet, to know that there are mysteries that resist being solved. The national parks are not just playgrounds, they are sanctuaries of the wild, and the wild, by definition, is unpredictable. As you continue to breathe slowly, envision the forest floor again. Look closely at the details. The intricate patterns of lichen on a stone, blazing with orange and yellow. The delicate unfoldings of a fern frond. The slow, steady march of a beetle across a log. Life here is persistent and quiet. It continues regardless of our presence. The truth we seek regarding those who vanish is that they have become part of this story. They have become part of the wind that sighs through the canyons. They are woven into the history of the land. The searchers may come with their dogs and their helicopters, with their grid patterns and their radios. They scan the ground with intensity. But the land is vast, and the land is patient. Sometimes the baffling nature of a disappearance is simply a matter of perspective. From the air, the forest is a solid carpet of green. From the ground, it is a chaotic tangle. A person can be feet away from a trail, yet completely hidden by the density of the brush. It is not magic. It is physics. It is biology. It is the simple, undeniable fact that nature is thicker and deeper than we often realize. Let yourself drift depress into this meditative state. Imagine you are sitting by a calm, alpine lake. The water is like a mirror, reflecting the jagged peaks that surround it. The surface is still, undisturbed. This water holds secrets too. It is deep and cold. It has been here since the Ice Age. The stories of disappearances often involve water, a slip from a rock, a misstep at a crossing. The water takes what falls into it and carries it away, or holds it down in the dark, cold depths. It is a reminder of the fluidity of the landscape. Nothing is static. The rivers carve the canyons, the rains move the earth, the snows reshape the mountains. We, as humans, are static creatures in comparison, trying to hold our ground in a world that is constantly flowing. There is a concept in Japanese culture called Shinrin-yoku, forest bathing. It is the practice of immersing oneself in the atmosphere of the forest for health and peace. But there is a fine line between bathing in the forest and drowning in it. The baffling disappearances are perhaps the extreme end of this immersion, a moment where the immersion becomes total, where the boundary between the self and the nature completely dissolves. Think of the night sky over a national park. Far from the light pollution of the cities, the stars are overwhelming. The Milky Way stretches across the heavens like a river of diamond dust. Under this canopy of stars, the wilderness feels even larger. The darkness is absolute. In this darkness, spatial awareness changes. Distances become impossible to judge. A light in the distance could be a flashlight a mile away or a star on the horizon. The baffling nature of these events reminds us of our vulnerability. We build our cities and our roads to insulate ourselves from the elements. But in the parks,
We step out of that insulation. We strip away the armor of civilization. We carry our water in bottles, our shelter in backpacks. We are fragile. And nature, in its passive, massive way, simply exists. It does not wish us harm, but it does not offer us help. Consider the psychology of the shortcut. Many who vanish were simply trying to save time. They saw a way to cut a switchback, to head straight for the lodge, to bypass a difficult section. It is a very human impulse to find the efficient path. But the woods do not understand efficiency. The woods are organic. The straight line is rarely the right path in the wild. The shortcut leads into the ravine, into the briars, into the unknown, and once off the path, the panic can set in. But let us not dwell on panic. Let us dwell on the confusion that precedes it, the dreamlike state of not knowing where you are. It is a feeling we rarely experience in our modern lives. We always have a blue dot on a screen. We always have a street sign. To be truly lost is a rare state of being. It forces a person to be entirely in the moment. There is no future, no past, only the immediate surroundings, the shape of the tree, the slope of the hill, the fading light. In this way, the disappearances are a journey into the ultimate now. The baffling truth is that for those who are lost, time likely distorts. Hours feel like minutes. Minutes feel like hours. The rhythm of the body tries to sync with the rhythm of the wild. But the wild is slow. So very slow. Let us return to the imagery of the moss. Thick, green, soft velvet covering the fallen logs. It absorbs sound. It softens edges. It is the blanket of the forest. It covers the tracks of the deer and the bear. It covers the footprints of the hiker. It is the great eraser. In a few days, a set of footprints can be gone, the moss rebounding, the leaves blowing over. The forest resets itself. It heals the disturbance we create. This ability of the landscape to heal over our presence is what makes the search so difficult. We are looking for a disturbance in a system that is designed to correct disturbances. We are looking for a straight line in a world of curves. We are looking for a bright color in a world of shadows. There are stories, old stories, of spirits and portals, of people being led away by the Fae,
or stepping into other dimensions. While we look for logical explanations, these stories persist because they resonate with the feeling of the woods. The feeling that there is more here than meets the eye, that the trees are watching, that the wind is speaking. Whether these things are literally true matters less than the emotional truth. The wilderness feels alive. It feels sentient. When we stand at the edge of a canyon, gazing into the abyss, we feel a pull, a call of the void. It is baffling, terrifying, and beautiful. Those who vanish have perhaps answered a call that we cannot hear. They have followed a melody that is inaudible to the rest of us. They have stepped through a door that was open only for a moment. As you lie there, safe and warm, let the mystery be a comfort rather than a fear. It means the world is still big. It means there are still places where magic or something like it, is possible. It means we have not tamed everything. Imagine the seasons changing in the high country. The autumn brings the gold of the aspen trees, shimmering and quaking in the breeze. The leaves fall, carpeting the ground in yellow. A person walking through this gold is walking through a painting. Then comes the winter. The snow falls, heavy and silent. It covers the yellow. It covers the rocks. It smooths out the contours of the land. The world becomes white and grey. In the winter, the disappearances are often linked to the cold, to the desire to rest. The snow is soft. It looks like a bed. The hypothermia brings a strange warmth at the end, a desire to sleep. It is a peaceful way to fade, to simply lie down and let the snow cover you, to become part of the winter. Then comes the spring, the melt, the rush of water in the creeks, the new growth pushing up through the soil. The cycle continues. The mystery is buried beneath the new life. The wildflowers bloom, purple and red and blue, indifferent to the secrets beneath their roots. This cycle is the ultimate truth of the national parks. Life, death, rebirth. The disappearances are part of this cycle. They are tragic for those left behind, for those who grieve. But for the wild, they are simply an event, a return of energy to the source. Let us visualize the Great Smoky Mountains again, the smoke that gives them their name. It is water vapor, exhaled by the vegetation. It hangs in the valleys, blue and ghostly. It shifts and moves like a living thing. To walk into that mist is to walk into a cloud. Visibility drops. The world becomes small, intimate. Just you and the few feet of ground before you. In this intimacy, it is easy to lose your way. But it is also easy to find yourself, to strip away the titles and the roles of your daily life. You are no longer an employee, a parent, a partner. You are simply a breathing creature moving through the mist. The baffling nature of these events teaches us respect. It teaches us that we are not the masters of this domain. We are visitors. We must tread lightly. We must watch the weather. We must stay on the path. But even when we do everything right, sometimes the wild reaches out. Think of the vast deserts of the Southwest parks. Joshua Tree, Canyonlands, Death Valley. Here, the disappearance is not about being hidden by trees, but being swallowed by space. The horizon stretches forever. The heat shimmers, creating mirages. Water is scarce. The land is red and orange and burnt sienna. It is a harsh beauty. In the desert, everything looks near. The clear air tricks the eye. A mountain range looks like an hour's walk, but it is a day's journey. The baffling disappearances here are often born of this optical illusion, the belief that salvation is just a little further. The walker pushes on, and the distance remains the same. But tonight, in the safety of your rest, the desert is cool. The stars are bright. The coyotes sing their chaotic song in the distance. It is a lullaby of the wild. We must also consider the concept of the quiet. Not just the lack of noise, but the quiet of the mind. When people go missing, we wonder what they were thinking. Were they afraid? Or were they in a state of awe? Perhaps in those final moments of wandering, there was a clarity. a realization of their place in the universe. The national parks are the lungs of our continent. They breathe. They are the memory of what the land was before us. The disappearances are a reminder that the land has its own agency. It is not a backdrop for our photos. It is a protagonist. As we move towards the end of our journey, let the images of the wild soften. The towering trees become gentle shadows. The rushing rivers become a soothing hum. The jagged peaks become soft pillows of cloud. We have explored the truth of the baffling disappearances. We have found that the truth is not a monster or a conspiracy. The truth is the land itself. The truth is the immense, indifferent, beautiful power of nature. The truth is that we are small and the world is wide. There is a peace in accepting this. We do not need to know the answer to every mystery. We can let some things remain hidden in the deep woods. We can let some stories have no ending. We can respect the silence. Feel your body relaxing further into the mattress or the chair. Your limbs are heavy. Your breathing is slow and rhythmic, like the tide, like the wind in the boughs. You are safe here. You are found. You are anchored. The mysteries of the national parks will remain. The mist will continue to rise. The snow will continue to fall. The moss will continue to grow. And the wanderers, the lost ones, they are part of that eternal landscape now. They are the whisper in the leaves. They are the shadow in the canyon. They are at peace in the vast embrace of the wild. Let this knowledge settle over you. Let the vastness of the forest protect your sleep. Let the quiet of the canyon calm your mind. You are drifting now, drifting like a leaf on a slow-moving stream, carried gently by the current into the soothing darkness of sleep. The path behind you has faded. The path ahead is unclear, and that is okay. You are exactly where you need to be, resting, breathing, existing. Good night to the forests. Good night to the mountains. Good night to the deserts. Good night to the mysteries. And good night to you.